Hi, Valley Center. Maura Nybert here with another Chat with Your Chamber. Today, we are here with Gary Arant at the Valley Center Water District. Hi, Gary. How are you doing?
I'm doing just great. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Very good to see you. Tell us what's new. I know there's a lot of new growth in Valley Center, and what's new with the Water District?
Well, at one time, Valley Center was one of the largest agricultural areas in San Diego County and certainly in Southern California. And over time, the agriculture has declined, and we're now seeing a transition of the community to a more urbanized, rural urbanizing community, homes, subdivisions coming in. So the challenge for us is recalibrating our operations to deal with less water demand, but dealing with a lot more customers. And so we're seeing potential growth coming. We have about 700 homes in stages of development right now in the district, and there's possibilities for more. So kind of changing the way we do business. We're going to be dealing with a lot smaller lots, lower water demand per home, and so it's changing the way we're doing business. So one of the ways we're coping with that is technology, and we're in the process of implementing a couple of new technologies. One is called AMI, which is automated meter infrastructure. So our new meters that we're installing will be able to record water usage on a real-time basis and send the data back to us every 15 minutes, and then ultimately our customers will be able to go online and check out their water usage, how much they've been using over a week, over a day, over the month, and also the system will be able to notify customers when we detect high usage, and so they'll know they may have a leak in their system. So this will be labor saving for us. In other words, we'll be able to serve more customers with not an equivalent number of new employees. In other words, we'll be able to serve more and more people with relatively same size staff we have. We're also going to what's called CMMS, which is computerized maintenance management system, so that we're computerizing all of our business processes. So when we dispatch service calls, they'll be dispatched from a computer to a iPad, and then the service technician will then input the data and then send it back to the district. So in other words, we're not pushing papers around and making everybody a lot more efficient. So those are some of the newer things that are going on here. As I said, we're transitioning from a primarily agricultural area to an urbanizing rural area, and so we have to adapt.
Well, it sounds like you are definitely adapting in an efficient way. On the meters now, is that just for the newer properties, or will some of the existing customers be getting new meters?
All the new meters are the AMI meters, but we also have a program where we're converting our existing meters to the AMI system. So eventually, we estimate in the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, the entire system will be AMI.
Oh, that's right.
So all the new meters that are going in are AMI, and then slowly over the next 2 or 3 years, we'll be converting all the meters to the AMI system. So we're also installing a series of radio antennas all over the district, so that the meters will be sending the data to the antennas will be sending it back to us, and then we'll have real-time data meter information. And our customers can go online and check out the usage and the conservation efforts and all that stuff.
Well, that's great, especially for those of us with the property and the groves. You sometimes don't realize you have a leak until it's too late, especially in those sprinkler systems.
Until you get your water bill.
Right. So this is really great. It's actually to be greater for those of us who have the land.
And the way the system works is if it detects there'll be a range of usage, and if the usage goes over that range, the system will send you, the customer, an email or a text and say, we think you may have a leak. And they'll notify us too. So
that's exciting.
Yes,
I like that.
It really is, and it's expensive, but it's an investment that our board of directors has seen fit to approve, because they understand that in the long term it will really make us more efficient and cost-effective operation in the long term. So.
Well, that's great. I'm excited for that. So, anything else we have going?
Well, I guess the main challenges we have have is, as we transition from agricultural to more urban, is we're selling less water, a lot less water. So unfortunately, the water gets more expensive because we have a certain set amount of facilities to take care and operate. You know, what most people don't understand is that my costs here have nothing to do with how much water I deliver. If I'm delivering 10,000 acre feet or 20 or 30, my costs of operation are the same. All that changes is the amount of purchased water I buy from the San Diego County Water Authority and Metropolitan. So our costs of operation are pretty well fixed, and most of our costs of operations are in operating the system, maintenance, repair, replacement. And so given the fact that the district was formed in 1954 and the water facility, the pipelines started being installed in the late 1950s, and many of those pipelines are still in the ground today, we're starting to see a lot more replacement requirements, replacing pipelines, recoating, relining reservoirs. So we're spending anywhere from $4 to $6 million a year just on keeping the system up to speed, safe and reliable. And so that's a challenge for the district and for its ratepayers, because there really aren't any outside sources of revenue for us. All the work that we do here is paid for by our ratepayers. So we're trying to do as much as we can, but also keeping in balance with, trying to keep the water as affordable as possible.
Well, and I think anybody that lives in the state of California has expensive water.
Right.
Water is a commodity in this state.
Right.
All
the district's water is purchased. It's imported. It comes from the Colorado River, and it comes from the State Water Project. It also comes from the Carlsbad desal plant. So those sources of water are relatively expensive. Also, the systems that bring the water into Southern California, like the Colorado River Aqueduct and the State Water Project, those systems are aging. Those systems were put in between the 1930s and the 1960s. And so they're aging, and so the agencies that operate those systems are having to make reinvestments in those infrastructure systems, and so those costs work their way down to what I pay to the water authority for an acre foot of water. And so then we have no other choice but to pass that on to our customers. And I know people get irritated with that, but if I don't pass my wholesale water costs on, eventually I'll close the door and put a sign.
Won't have any water.
Put a sign out that says you can get your water at Vaughn's.
Well, I have to tell you, before here I lived up in LA, so we had DWP, and I still have friends there and some clients there, and let me tell you something, I'm pretty sure our rates are lower than DWP's.
Well, I don't know that, but water is relatively expensive all over,
yes,
especially Southern California. Now, if you happen to live in, say, Northern California, right next to the Sacramento River, and you can put your pump in the river, your cost of water is very cheap. But that's not the case here. We bring water from 500 miles away from the State Water Project and 300 miles away from the Colorado River to come into Southern California. And also the desal plant, which was finished in 1950. That's not a cheap facility, and the cost of desal is pretty high because of the energy costs.
Right.
So when you add that all up, plus all the regulations we have to comply with and reporting and all those things, it gets pretty expensive.
Well, that's understandable. And I think we just kind of all have to live with it. I'd rather pay a little bit more for my water and have my 3 acres and my groves and my pets, and that's why I moved here. So I'm pretty happy with it, and thank you very much for all the hard work this agency does, because I know it's got to be a lot of work keeping it all together.
Well, thank you, and just want you to know, and the people that may listen to this, that our board of directors, the people who develop the policies and make the decisions, all live in this district. So when they make a decision to increase rates or fees, they're increasing rates and fees on themselves. So it may not be fun to see your water costs going up, but at least you know the people who are responsible for making those decisions are being impacted by them as well. So,
well, and hopefully this little chat lets you know why your water may have gone up, and it's for very good reason, and we still need the water, and we still want you guys around.
Okay, and that's good to know.
Yes, we do. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Sure.
And anything else?
It's a great place to work. I've been here over 30 years, working here as the general manager, and it's a great community. and my staff, my employees take great pride in serving this community, and service here is really important. It's a really important thing that we do, and we all know that. The only reason we're here is because of people of Valley Center, and we appreciate the support, the large support from this community. Even though people have seen their water bills go up, we still appreciate the great support we have from the people of Valley Center. It's a great place to be and serve, so thank you.
Well, I agree, and I think on behalf of Valley Center, we appreciate that you serve us as well.
Okay.
So, thank you again, Gary, and thank you very much. Keep it local, Valley Center.